All right, we're going to go ahead and continue. We've now been joined by Riley Herbst, driver of the number 35 2311 racing team. We're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. Who would like to go first? We'll start with Dustin.
Dustin Albino, J-Ski. Riley, now that you're about a month into your rookie season, what's it been like, the adjustment period from Xfinity to Cup?
It's been a lot of fun, honestly. I felt like it's gone okay the first 3 weeks as well, just some solid finishes. Obviously, last week was unfortunate, but the jump is tremendous, and everybody tells you about it. And it's one of those things you don't really know until you experience it. But I felt like I've surrounded myself with really good people at 2311 and really good mentors with Denny, Tyler, and Bubba. So I felt like we came out of the gates in good shape, and I was pleased with our results and how we were running. Last week was unfortunate, like I said, and this week's going to be another challenge, a mile and a half, but should be fun. I'm just taking it in stride each week and trying to enjoy each week and everything new about it. It's been a lot of fun these last 2 months, getting to know everybody and just get my feet underneath me, and hopefully we can continue to build a good foundation.
We're going to go to Roy.
Thank you, Riley. Roy Akers, Skyview Sports. You are in 27th position, and obviously you got a lot of room for growth. What have you and your team earmarked as the best place for you guys to improve going forward and perhaps make the playoffs?
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest thing is to finish the race, right? You don't get any points if you don't finish. So I think that's kind of what put us in a huge hole this past weekend at Phoenix. But quite honestly, I don't really think anybody is micromanaging the points by any means. That's not really our objective. Our objective is to get better each week and be more and more competitive each week, and where we fall is where we fall. So yeah, nobody's too concerned about the point standings 4 weeks in by any means. It's more about a progress check, where we need to be better, where we've excelled, and where we need to pick up the pace a little bit. So I think there's some check boxes that we've excelled at, and there's some areas that we need to improve on as well. And I think it was a good 4 weeks to get our test results back and try to set us up for a solid run until the Easter break.
We'll come up to Crystal.
Thank you. Crystal Clay Racing Refresh. With this being the West Coast swing and you being the Vegas driver, we've been losing tracks in Southern California almost yearly, and there's this disappearance going on. So how important is it to you to have Vegas on the schedule for NASCAR, keeping its presence on the West Coast? And do you think that there's room for investment in the area?
It's awesome. I think Las Vegas is such a big and unique town, and there's so much different things to do. But I think the racing culture has grown tremendously here, obviously with myself and Noah Gregson growing up racing right there at the bull ring in the shadows of 1 and 2. So that's really cool. And now with the Formula One race, a lot more motorheads are starting to come out to Las Vegas and be from Las Vegas, which is neat. And just the presence that Las Vegas Motor Speedway has on the NASCAR calendar. The race in the fall is huge because that can lock yourself into, I think, the Final Four. So, yeah, it's really cool that NASCAR promotes Las Vegas, my home city, which means so much to me, and hopefully it continues to grow. And like you said, we get more short tracks and we get more dirt tracks out here in the West Coast, and no more of them shutting down.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. So along those lines here in Vegas, what's the Riley Herbst contingent look like with the fans coming here to support you this weekend, and how performing a cup level with your family and stuff out here?
Yeah, it's cool. It's honestly one of those take a step back moments. To a lot of people in the field, it's just the first mile and a half of the year and the end of the West Coast swing, so they're excited to get back to Charlotte. But for me, used to camp on Motorhome Hill, used to go to the bridges and watch the Hollow Parade. So it's kind of like a full circle moment for myself. So to race a cup car at my home track that I've been dreaming of forever is really special. So just trying to enjoy the moment and take it all in before we head on to the less unique tracks to me, I guess, personally. So, yeah, this is a really cool moment for myself and my family, and obviously to share it with Noah is pretty special as well.
Do we have any additional questions we'll come up to...
Mark Darrow, PRN. Riley, you've run a cup race or two before you got to this point, running on a week-to-week basis. But anything surprise you running against these guys week to week as a major difference, say, running against the Xfinity Series guys week in, week out?
Yeah, it's so much more cutthroat. I don't know a better term for it, but yeah, the competition is stout from first to 40th. Or 36th, I should say. Yeah, when I ran those races last year, it was kind of me just to get to field to drive the car, not really to go race and be competitive. So just how deep this field is and how tight it is, the margin for error is nothing. The mistakes they make are minimal. When you run the Xfinity race, you can get 5 spots by just making a green flag cycle because people miss pit road and things like that, and everybody's just trying to learn. Where here everybody is fighting for hundredths on green flag cycle, so it's definitely interesting to see the data behind it, all the statistics, and just the margin for error is basically zero.
We'll go to Lee.
Lee Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio and CatchFence.com. We're headed to Homestead, and you had 5 top 10 finishes there and 6 starts in the Xfinity Series. Where do you prefer to run? Do you like to ride the rim, or where is your preferred line?
Yeah. So my kind of new thing is to throw all the stats about every result at every racetrack in the previous, because this race car is so different from everything I've ever driven. So it's kind of hard for me to look back on history, and hopefully it repeats itself going forward. But for your question about where to run, I think Homestead's such a cool racetrack because it's starting to wear even more and more. The bumps are getting bigger in 3 and 4, but the fence is a lot of fun, and the bottom, when your race car drives really good, is a lot of fun as well because you can go to clean air and just kind of hook the line. So that racetrack is awesome. I like this rectangle shape of it rather than the D-shape oval too. Is very unique. So yeah, it's a cool racetrack, good weather and good fans, so looking forward to it.
Any additional questions for Riley? All right, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck.
Thank you.